Welcome everybody, and yeah, we're going to be looking at two limited edition versions of films from Second Sight. One of which I already had the standard Blu-ray from, but I could not resist getting the limited edition version of it. Especially because these two versions are currently out of print, so I had to pay a little bit more for them on eBay than I would have had to if I'd have got them when they originally came out. But unfortunately I wasn't into buying films quite as much as I was when they originally were released, and by the time I was, they were even harder to find. But they seem to have been a bit more drip-fed now onto second-hand sites like eBay. So yeah, really excited to look at them with you and yeah, talk about them. So the first of which is The House That Dripped Blood, which has some fantastic original artwork on it from Second Sight, and yeah, looks absolutely glorious. And it's a 1971 horror anthology that's directed by Peter Duffel, stars Christopher Lee, Peter Cushing, Denholm Elliott and John Pertwee. And yeah, it's got 4 short stories, all originally written and subsequently scripted by Robert Bloch, who also did the script for Psycho. So, you know, it's got a bit of pedigree behind it for that. And the 4 stories are Method for Murder, Waxworks, Sweets to the Sweet, and The Cloak. And yeah, Denholm Elliott stars in Method for Murder. It's Peter Cushing in Waxworks, Sweets to the Sweet in Christopher Lee in Sweets to Sweet, and The Cloak stars John Pertwee. And yeah, it's a really, really solid anthology, easily one of the better ones out there, because it's very easy for an anthology film to have at least 1 week story, namely like Creepshow, which I never was fond of the Stephen King led story in that anthology film. But yeah, still, this is a cracking anthology film. Standard Blu-ray disc though, nothing special about that. I'm pretty sure you can pick up the standard one for nothing at all really. But this being a limited edition version, you also get a nice booklet which goes through the film. Again, got the same artwork as the box artwork there. And yeah, it goes through each of the films and the crew and the cast for not each of the films, each of the stories, for, as well as the cast and the crew for each of them. And yeah, it's got, you know, images from each shot of the stories and stuff like that, which is all by the numbers, to be fair. And yeah, we've got essays about all of the stories there, and you know, their influence and the like. So yeah, really nicely done. And yeah, you also get a poster, not only featuring the original art, the original poster, but also the new artwork as well. So yeah, there's the new artwork, absolutely glorious. I love the fact that Christopher Lee is central to it, looking like he's oh no, is that John Pertwee? Yeah, I think that might be John Pertwee actually. But yeah, regardless, fantastic looking artwork. Yeah, because Christopher Lee's down here, I've just remembered now. So yeah, still fantastic artwork. And yeah, you also get the original one as well, which is again nicely done. There you go, you got Christopher Lee with his head on a serving dinner plate there, which is nice. And yeah, overall a solid limited edition there. And the film itself is really good as well, because the cast is solid, it's nicely shot, the score is effective, each segment is engrossing while being not similar to one another, which is always a good thing. It's always a a bad sign of an anthology film when each story is like one another. And it's suspenseful, and it's got good pacing as well. So yeah, overall a really solid anthology film. Not my favourite anthology film. I will say Creepshow is the better one, just because even though it's got the 1 week story in it, the rest is so much better than that weaker one, and the ones in The House That Dripped Blood, that is ultimately the better one. But still, as far as anthology films go, it's really, really good. And finally, this is one you've probably seen in my Second Sight video, where I've concentrated solely on their films, but I finally got my hands on the Changeling limited edition, which again has the same artwork as what was on the box, but you can swap it for the original one on the other side. But yeah, this is again a fantastic horror film. And yeah, I actually swapped the artwork around on the outside of this, so you got the original poster there with the original tagline, which is really rather effective. So yeah, how did you die, Joseph? Did you die in this house? Why do you remain? It does have it on the new artwork, as you can see there, but I actually kind of like the original one as well, because it's got really nice colours and use of shadow. So yeah, really like that. But yeah, this is from 1980. It's directed by Peter Maddock, and it stars George C. Scott and Melvyn Douglas. George C. Scott starting off the decade with a excellent horror film, and yeah, it would also start off the next decade with an excellent horror film in the form of Exorcist 3. And yeah, it's after a tragic event happens, composer John Russell, played by George C. Scott, moves to Seattle to try to overcome it and build a new and peaceful life in a lonely big house that has been uninhabited for many years. But soon after, the obscure history of such an old mansion and his own past begin to haunt him. And yeah, fantastic film. Easily one of those horror films that has just gotten better with age, and certainly better in my eyes the more I've watched it. And yeah, speaking about being a composer, you get not only the film on Blu-ray, but you also get the score as well, which I have yet to listen to, but it is really good in the film, so I hope it's as good as it is outside of the film. Often some scores do not work quite as well as they do outside of the film, but there are some out there that really do. And yeah, this neatly mixes different approaches to doing a horror film with the likes of haunted house, murder mystery, and the psychological being thrown together to make one hell of an atmospheric film that even manages to make something as innocent as a child's play ball be creepy. It's also got solid direction, a script that unfolds like a puzzle as it progresses, camera work that is pretty fluid, and a score that not only plays a role in the film but also enhances every scene. So yeah, it's nice to have not only the film be about a composer, but then also have the score itself, which is a really nice addition and not something you always get in limited editions. And just with like The House That Dripped Blood, you also get a really nice booklet, again with the original art, the new artwork on the front, but this time you've got George C. Scott on there instead of just a chair that takes a crucial role in the film itself. And again, you get essays and shots from the film itself, which again, really nice to see. This has a horrifying car crash at the beginning of it, I seem to remember, and a really rather fiery end as well. So yeah, really nice booklet there. And again, like with House of Drip Blood, you also get a really nice poster with the new and original artwork. I really do like the new artwork, even though I also do like the original one as well. So it's going to be a hard decision for me to decide which one I really want to have up. I guess it's going to depend on the colours of other posters that are going to be up in my room. But yeah, really nicely done. I would say that the new artwork on The House That Dripped Blood is probably a bit more inventive and a little bit more original, because you know the new artwork still has a chair on it and it still has a house on it. It's not got anything that's particularly original outside of what was originally done for the film. But yeah, still a fantastic release and a fantastic film. I do prefer The Exorcist 3, but this is still another cracking horror film starring George C. Scott, so I highly recommend getting the Changeling, although obviously you most likely won't only be able to find it on its standard Blu-ray release, but even that is still fantastic. I purely got this because I'm a massive fan of the film, so I wanted more physical extras to go with it, and also the score. So yeah, that's why I got it. And House of Drip Blood is another solid anthology film. Again, most likely you will only want to get the standard Blu-ray, because yeah, limited editions like that are purely from, you know, bigger fans of the film rather than, you know, casual viewers. But nonetheless, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.